you leave the room?
Sure, I'll leave the room.
Oh, my. He's very, very disciplined. And very, very kind. And very, very discerning. And his eye is extremely adept at detail, particularly physical, but also mental. And he never stops talking.
How would you describe him?
Wow. Electric, soulful, wise, forever youthful, very tough, street. That's the best part, one of the best parts of him. He's really street, and that's the part I could identify with, because I know where he's coming from, and just a very, very special person,
He is the most alive person of all. His sense of fun and pleasure and sense of humor is more vital than anybody I know.
The man all these people have been talking about is Bikram Chaudhry, and you might wonder what he's done to deserve all these compliments.
Believe it or not, this is the way he's done it. By teaching all of those people and me to torture our bodies by getting into positions like this. It's called Hatha Yoga, and it isn't easy, especially when you're trying to talk, and it hurts, but that's just fine with Bikram. He's sort of like a dictator, you know what I mean?
Merlin, sit down. What's wrong with you? Sit down. When people come to my class first day, I tell them exactly on their face, in front of everybody, exactly what they are. First, they're very tough to accept it, but later when they find out I told the truth and I'm helping them to get rid of those problems, everybody love me, they like it, no problem. So it is true, I am dictator.
Now, just because he seems like a dictator, and pretty proud of it, wouldn't you say? Well, it doesn't mean that he can't loosen up and have a good time with his students, too.
The occasion for all the festivities is Bikram's wedding reception. While Paula Prentice and Bikram and I dance, Richard Benjamin waits in the buffet line, and so does Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But even here, yoga class is not completely forgotten. Bikram's bride is the beautiful Rajashri. They met in India, where she caught his eye by winning a yoga championship. Back a few years ago, Bikram and Shirley MacLaine also met in India, and that's how he got to the United States.
Of course, I was a fan that time because I saw Can.
I like that.
And then I started talking to her. She told me something which I'll never forget. She said, the country need me, somebody like me, to teach them yoga.
You think you made the right decision?
Oh, absolutely.
Richard Benjamin and Paula Prentice.
I thought it was weird, and I thought a lot of weird people went there.
Right,
a lot of
everybody has
strange
that
people, and that they made weird sounds and stuff and turned out all the lights and sort of just stared at things.
But did you take Bikram's class?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought it was. She said, you got to come and do this and everything. I saw her getting stronger and stronger and stronger and smarter. And finally, she dragged me in there with the rest of those weirdos. And when I got in there, I saw that this was a great, great thing. There was no weirdness at all. It was only the hardest physical exercise that anyone's ever done. And I loved it.
A lot of people do have the wrong preconception about yoga, but Hatha Yoga is far from being mysterious and mystical. There are about 100 basic positions designed to stretch the body inside and out. In a beginner's class, about 25 positions are used. You repeat each position 2 times during the 90-minute session, which costs $10, and takes place in a room whose temperature is kept around 92 degrees. But Carol Lindley thinks it's no accident that famous people are attracted to the class.
In our life, and especially in Beverly Hills, and being actors and people in the show business, whatever, we are quite often catered to, or pampered, or less is asked of us, or something is asked of us more pleasantly. And Bikram kicks ass, if you'll pardon my language.
Actress Sachi Parker, Shirley MacLaine's daughter, would agree.
So, I mean, Hollywood isn't easy, but, he sure makes my life easier here.
And she listened to me. She listened to me.
It's true, it really is.
She listened to me.
For me, the first day I took a yoga class, I slept only 4 hours that night, and I thought there was something wrong. but I wasn't sleepy. The same thing happened the next night and continued to happen. Then I began to tie it to the yoga because the postures that you assume for the 10 seconds or 20 seconds, when you release the posture, and holding the posture is what's difficult, but when you release it, the blood flushes through your system, and it is the most nourishing thing your body can sustain.
The stretching really takes the muscles across all of your internal organs and gives them a little workout and flushes them. And that's absolutely necessary.
For many of Bikram's students, the yoga is dead serious. They started doing it not just because they wanted to look and feel better, but because they faced a life-threatening situation. Quincy Jones is a good case in point. After he suffered 2 aneurysms, his wife, Peggy Lipton, brought him to Bikram.
I've been hooked ever since, you know, spiritually and physically, just hooked.
It really helped you come back, didn't it?
Sure.
I mean,
it strengthened everything up, and mentally and physically.
and you still, with your schedule, find the time to get there.
It's the most important thing in life.
Martin Sheen is another good example. He started yoga after he suffered a heart attack.
One day I was in class and he said, just generally to the whole class, he said, you must do this yoga because you must voluntarily give yourself this pain now while you're capable to give it to yourself and rid yourself of it now so that when you get old or older, pain and sickness will not visit you and give you the pain. You will have rid yourself of all of these illnesses now. Your body will be strong and centered.
Melinda Dillon, who you'll recognize from the movie's Absence of Malice and Songwriter, is trying to recover from a broken back.
Well, I'm hoping, because I don't like the idea of cutting into the back.
And how does it feel after the 2 classes?
I don't know. I feel addicted, if that's possible, you know.
You come to my class, you don't know yourself, who you are. I hold the mirror in front of your face. You can see who you are, like X-ray machine, X-ray plate. Who you are, what you are, what is the bad part of you, physically, mentally, spiritually, what is good part of you. That's what you pay for. That's my job. I cannot tell you the lies to keep you happy. When you are 20 pounds overweight, I cannot tell you you are in good shape. I got to tell you you have 20 pounds overweight on your face, and you have to lose it from tomorrow, no lunch, no breakfast, and half a sandwich dinner. And if you think I'm insulting you, it's your problem. And I don't care, because that's why you came to me, that's why you pay for. I must tell you the truth.
Now, you might think that those of us who do yoga sound like missionaries or zealots, or as Janet and Martin Sheehan put it, yoga nuts. Well, maybe we are, but I think all of us know that there are many healthy ways to exercise. However, once you learn yoga, you can do it anywhere, anytime, any place, at any age. Oh, Judy. Stay tuned and watch Judy, very definitely a beginner, try to learn yoga. Celebrities tonight. Well, this is a celebrity at 2 on the Town. Judy works on 2 on the Town. She's our resident humorist. She's our resident, she does everything. She helps the show go.
Could we set up a day with you? Oh, okay.
Judy Huron is a production assistant on 2 on the Town. She went on the first shoot to Bikram's Yoga College of India and decided that she wanted to try it. We talked her into letting us tape her first class. Judy, by the way, is a pro at trying out fitness programs for television. You might remember her debut in Thinner Thighs in 30 Days. That's 3 inches. That was 2 years ago, though. And since then, Judy has not done any exercise. So she's wary about her ability to pick up the yoga.
Leg, kick up, with the toes. Beautiful. Very nice. Should I let go?
No. No way. Not if you want me to live.
And slowly come back.
Glenn Brugman, one of the other instructors at Bikram's place, taught Judy.
Judy was wonderful. She could do the postures, and she could be in all the pain you could possibly be in, and she would come out of the posture smiling. She had a very good attitude.
One result she noticed right away was one that most of us would like to see.
I just don't have much of an appetite anymore. I mean, really I don't. Normally I would eat all of these, but today I can take 1 bite, and maybe I'll be able to eat them later, but after that class, I can't eat anything.
Okay, up to her 5th day in yoga class. How's her progress?
Arms. Chest down, arms up.
and come back. Beautiful. Nice. Arms down.
Do you like it?
Very much.
You're going to keep it up, right, Judy?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you look good. You look different already.
I feel better already. I really
Do you?
feel.
How?
My clothes fit much better. I have started to lose weight anyway, and I've cut my appetite. Tremendous.
Believe me, that's something.
Because you're always eating. Always. It's true, and it has really helped. It's phenomenal. It hurts though.
Judy thinks she's proved that if she can do yoga, anybody can. We think she's proved, once again, that she's a darn good sport. Thanks, Judy.
Why?
There's more to get into shape than just your bodies.
When you give your body this pain freely, then it's very difficult, after you understand pain, to give pain to anybody else.
Try to open your chest more to give more room to the heart and lungs.
Sandy took me to several exercise places where her friends, all of them experts who really do have good manners, helped illustrate some bad manners.
For hundreds of reasons, you never talk back to the teacher. Why? Then you disturb rest of the class. That's the first manner you learn in yoga class, not to open your mouth.
Bikram Chaudhry is Sandy's yoga expert. Other fine points of yoga etiquette: extremities should be bare, no shoes in the room, and never compare your progress to another student's. One of Bikram's students, by the way, is Martin Sheen. And you never talk back to him, huh?
Oh, you never open your mouth to him. No, nobody does. Okay. No, it's considered very impolite. And you don't want to because...
From the Celebrity Theater at Sunset and Vine in Hollywood, it's the Merv Griffin Show. Today, Merv welcomes Juliet Prowse, Susan Lucci, Norman Cousins, yoga instructor Bikram Chaudhry. And now, here's Merv.
Thank you. Well, I would love you right back, but you're not supposed to fool around at the office. It's hardly the office. Well, I'm really pleased this lady is here. She's a great beauty, and she has entertained us for a couple of years. She has graced stages all over the world, as a matter of fact, with her powerful singing and dancing. You'll notice, too, one of the better legs you have ever seen in your life. And a little later on, we're going to meet the people who keep her in shape and performing at her peak. But right now, would you welcome lovely Juliet Prowse. Oh, Juliet, those are like, well, don't sit down yet. I'm still talking about them. They're probably two of the greatest sculptures in America. Aren't those nice? Is one born with those, or do you have to shape them up and...
Well, I think exercise certainly helps, because that's what forms the muscle and the shape.
But is there a danger when you do what you do that you better not stop?
Absolutely, because
everything will go blip.
Exactly, because if your body is used to doing that and you don't do that anymore, the muscles are just going to get limp, and they're not going to have that tone anymore.
Probably one of the most imaginative and best acts I ever saw in Las Vegas. I remember, and I don't know why it has stuck with me, maybe you can tell me why, the Gershwin.
Oh, the Rhapsody.
The Rhapsody.
Yeah.
I will never forget that
That was
number.
a lovely piece, wasn't it? Yeah.
You work so hard, where people tend to go to Las Vegas, or did, and kind of slough it off because there was so much money and you were so famous.
I've had entertainers come backstage after seeing our acts. These are the big acts, because I don't do those anymore. But when I used to do the big acts, I've had entertainers come back and say, you make us feel so guilty, because we just go out there and we don't even sweat,
right.
And take home the moolah and put it in the bank.
And you took the moolah and put it into your act and brought all those people and...
It was a big overhead for me to carry, because I carried about 20 people. You know?
How long do you think?
And you know, most people, when they see a nightclub act, they think that the hotel has furnished all of that.
Oh,
they
no.
don't realize that the entertainer has paid for everything you see on stage. Every costume, every performer,
Sure.
every piece of lighting, music.
It's true.
It works.
It's true.
You know?
How long are you going to continue to do it?
Oh, I've stopped doing all of that, Merv.
I
The
thought you
big
were-
acts.
I thought you were
now
going
do.
back in.
I do the small. I do what I call like a mini act now. I just work with 2 guys and myself, and I do about 38 minutes, and I open for whoever is now headlining.
Yeah.
Because 3 years ago, while I was doing those big acts, you know, one gets so many injuries, and in Vegas you have to work with them because you can't take off.
No.
It's not like being on a team, you know, where you can take off because someone can fill in for you.
But there is pain.
When it's your show and you're not there, well, that's the end of the show.
Right.
So I was working with a lot of injuries, and then the last one was 3 years ago, which ended up in my having back surgery and having disc removal.
I didn't know about back
Yeah.
surgery.
And so when that happened, I knew that there was going to be a long time that I wasn't going to be working because that was a big surgery to get over. And
There's no way it could have been corrected without surgery?
we tried everything. Everything. I did acupuncture for 3 months solid. I did cortisone shots into the spine. I did, everything you can think of, you know.
For the love-
problem was that the disc had perforated, and it was sitting on the sciatic nerve the whole time. And the discomfort, to be very bland, was amazing to work with. And I used to sometimes just literally crawl off the stage, and I would hit my dressing room and just start to cry. It was terribly debilitating to
For
work
the
with
love-
that kind of pain.
For the love of one's art.
Yeah, like they say, what I did for love.
Yes. But did you ever ask why I did it for love?
I don't know. It's something that when, you know, young people, when they ask me about being a dancer, and I say to them, the best advice I can give you is you have to love it more than anything in the world, because you have to overcome a tremendous amount of hurdles. The training, which is very hard. The pains, the injuries that leave you with weaknesses. And you have to get over all of that, you know. So you have to really love it, especially if I'm talking about really being a serious dancer.
But are you driven?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole life has been getting up and the first thing you do is go to ballet class. It's the first thing you do. First thing you think of.
To prove it to yourself.
Oh, yeah. And
So you're competing with yourself, really.
It's trying to prove how much you can do and how well you can do it. And it's pleasing your teacher, and it makes you feel good when you come out of a class and you know you've done a good class, and makes you feel just as bad when you know you've done a rotten class, you know.
At this age, is it tough going? I mean, you're not 21 anymore.
I certainly am not. I'm 50.
No. Are you 50? I applaud too. But I mean, it's like talking to a kid. I didn't realize you're anywhere near there. I wouldn't start it in with age.
Yeah. So what now I've had so many things go wrong that I still go to class, but the thing that I really do, which has been my saving grace, has been my yoga. Yoga is one of the most, I talk about it so much. My boyfriend is so sick and tired of hearing about it. Because everyone I meet who has a problem, I start about yoga. And I say, it'll solve everything in your life if you'll do it, if you go to the right teachers.
What do you mean it'll solve everything in your life?
It keeps you young. It keeps your body young because you're keeping that spine flexible.
But what
and
is
I believe yoga, well...
Is it meditation?
There are different forms of yoga. There are yogis, people who go into the caves and meditate and do that whole thing. And those people are the people who started what they call hatha yoga. Being in those caves, they had very restricted areas, and they knew that they had to keep their body moving, otherwise they'd, get
freeze up.
Yeah. And so they scientifically thought of all these postures to do that would keep them flexible outside, and these postures also work on the internal organs, on your heart, on your liver, on your kidneys, on your intestines. It's
Everything
amazing.
about your life.
There's quite a science involved to it.
Everything about your life improves?
You feel, after a class, I just feel incredible. It's like being on a high. a natural
But what
high.
about those people who have never done that in their life and then try to get into the lotus position?
Well, we don't do that in beginning yoga classes. And when we get into all this, you'll see. My teacher doesn't do that. He says Americans have the worst backs in the world. He says the West have the worst backs. They all have back trouble.
It's true.
It's true. And we don't do any of the lotus because the Western people aren't used to pronating the knees in that way. You know, you have to really pronate in the knee to get all of that stuff going. And we don't do any of that in beginning. And I only do beginning yoga class. I have never ventured into advanced class. So anyone, I mean, I have taken people from all walks of life to class. From
All
musicians,
sizes?
all sizes, shapes, from musicians to actors to people who do nothing. And they've gotten hooked on it and love it, just love it, you know, because they feel so good at it.
Well, let me take a commercial break and we'll meet this young man and his wife who is responsible for
lots of people
teaching
for
about
keeping
everybody.
and for keeping Kareem Abdul-Jabbar going out there.
Right.
He's
right.
one of our students.
And many celebrated people in motion pictures.
That's
and
right. Shirley MacLaine, and Raquel Welch, and oh God, masses of them.
Not bad. Pretty good names there. We'll come back with Juliet Prowse and meet her yoga teacher. Joining our panel right now is the man who shaped up more celebrity bodies than any exercise instructor. He is Los Angeles' most prominent yoga master to the stars and 3 times served as national yoga champion of India. Would you welcome Bikram Chaudhary? Juliet talks about what you have said about Westerners and their back problems. Why do we all have such bad backs?
Because, Merv, the most important thing in any exercise, let me put it this way. The exercise means stretching.
Stretching.
You have to stretch your body from bone to the skin, from here to the toes. Now you think when people does all hundreds of different kind of exercise, when they stretch their body. When you run, you stretch your body.
Yeah.
When you play tennis, you stretch your body.
Stretch your
when
body.
you play football, you
Right.
don't.
You don't stretch your body.
You don't.
You jam it together all the time,
You
constantly.
don't.
My tennis is ruining my body?
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Absolutely. You will be my very best student.
Will I?
Because first 25 days, 25 lessons, you can lose 25
Well,
pounds.
I was telling Merv about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar coming to class, and he is like
Great
he's like a ramrod. He cannot bend
Let
in
me tell
one
you
direction.
something.
You're kidding.
Let me tell you
The
something.
greatest athletes
Everybody
were-
thinks he's the best athlete in the world.
Yes.
In my class, he's the worst student I ever had in my life. He came to see me, believe me or not. Excuse me, you want to have a lunch with me? Like this.
Well, maybe he has to talk to you that way because of his height. Otherwise, you would talk into his navel.
Only time I feel good because I was taller than him that time. So I said, about what? He said, 15 days later, I have to sign my new agreement, but I can't because best doctor in UCLA told me I cannot play any game. I said, what is your problem? He said, back and knee, my migraine headache. I said, well, I cannot go to lunch today, but come back at 4:30 class with the shorts. I'll talk to you that time. And he came back, and 14 days later, he signed the agreement. And after that, this is the 3rd year he's playing the best in his life.
Yeah. But you see, all those positions of any sports are unnatural.
Bad. Example.
Bikram, shouldn't we all really be down on our all fours?
No. No.
It's natural for us?
No,
Yeah,
no. The most important thing in human life, human body is the spine. Now, the moment you born and the moment you are going to die, all the time your spine forward bending. It's called one-side game. So intentionally, you have to bend your spine backward bending. The worst thing I hear from every doctor and modern medical science in AMA, they said, don't ever bend your spine backward bending. Take those pills, stay in the bed, and watch Merv Griffin.
Good
Go
doctor.
to the hell.
They what?
Go to the hell. That means you die slow poison death.
Go ahead. If you watch my show, you go to hell.
No. I mean, take the pills and do nothing.
And do nothing.
And don't do the back bending shows.
Yeah.
Back bending postures.
Yeah.
So I tell the most important thing, like you, Juliet said about the back bending, you have to do the back bending if you know how to do it. So that we are going to perform a little bit what back bending they
I
can
want
do
to
it.
see. Now, your wife is going to...
She's coming and joining us to perform
She's
something
amazing.
just...
She is the champion.
Rajashri?
Rajashri.
She's the champion yoga
5 times in
teacher
India. Yeah.
of India.
Of India?
Yeah, that means she's one of the best in
And
the
she's
world.
how old?
20.
20.
20. And you've been married, what, a year?
Year and quarter.
Okay. Joining Bikram now is his wife, Rajashri, who has outdone her husband, as you've heard, 5 times, and is National Yoga Champion of India. Here she is. My. Now, hello. Come in. Nice to have
Meet
you
you.
here. Now, she's not going to dress like that in India.
Oh,
no.
She does in her show all the time. In the TV.
In India?
Oh, yeah, in the TV show. What do you think, India? Still we are pulling the plow.
I don't know. I thought...
Have you ever been to India?
Sacred cows?
Somewhere inside the villages and all this.
The ladies don't have to hide anymore?
When you go to Bombay, that's Saudi Arabia and somehow.
Oh, that's Saudi
We are
Arabia.
not.
And are Indians, are they into exercise?
Men, we do like we play soccer in the sidewalk. We grew up like this all my life. I do some exercise, but not like every woman go to the dance class or not like gymnasium. We don't have all these things because the women are too busy to taking care of their husband and children and family, cooking the home and clean the house. They don't have time.
They don't want to hear that. I hate to warn you here.
That.
Now, do something. What are you going to do for us?
We're going to go over to the mat here.
All right. If you don't mind, I'll just watch.
Maybe my mind
Oh,
should
I was
try a
going to
little
say,
bit
gee,
too.
I thought he didn't have anything. That'd be a first on television.
First we do.
You will do with me.
No, why don't I stand here
First
and
we
watch?
do.
Okay.
If you take a piece of steel to a blacksmith and tell him I want a knife out of it, what he's going to do? First he's going to put it in the fire, heat it up. When it is soft, you start hammering, change the shape to a knife. That's why all about human life and human body. But before you heat it up, if you keep hammering with the hammer, you break your hand and the hammer. That's why you do with all other exercise in the world. So when you do the best athlete in the world like a Karim, then you cannot walk at the age of 35, you have finished your life.
Yeah.
But when you warm up, at the age of 80, I have a student 80 years old will be embarrassed to stand next to them how wonderful they do. So this is the only warming up exercise, yoga postures Juliet is going to show. First we do Ardha Chandra Asana, half moon pose. Most of the people in the world cannot stretch like this, so the scapula one has to come out completely from the shoulder blade, including deltoid and trapezius muscle. Bend right side. The easiest subject in the world. You are stretching from the spine internally to the outside, everything from top to bottom, fingertips to the heels. And then 10 seconds. Good thing come in the small package. You heard that before. Again, 10 seconds this side. Don't try too hard. Just do very little bit, just like a beginner does, who never did any yoga or any exercise in their whole life. Then you do the back bending. Okay, when she does her own practice, she can come down here, but I told her not to come up because this room is not warm enough. That's enough. Everything internally stretching, the vertebrae are opening the joint. Now it's called Padahastasana stretching posture. This is the way you have to start scientifically. You grab the heels. Pulling is the object of the stretching posture. Now she's pulling from the coccyx to the brain. From the side, as a beginner, everybody looked like an American club sandwich. But now she looks like a Japanese ham sandwich. This is beginners.
You can carry her in a shopping bag.
Absolutely. If I have to explain this posture medically, it will take a whole night. Just I am going to say, good for life, physically, mentally, spiritually. You need tremendous concentration. You stand up on your toes, spine straight. Yeah, I know there's no mirror.
So you used to working with a mirror.
Think there is a mirror. And go down until you feel your hips touching the chair.
On the toes.
I used to do in one toe in my time. You won't believe it. Like this.
One toe?
One toe. And 60 seconds, stay there.
Yeah.
And if you fall, my guru used to run with a big stick.
Yeah, you're falling
Look
apart,
at this.
Big.
Come on, please. Compare what I used to be anyway. Now. Sideways. Sideways. This is standing head to knee. Yoga means is union between body, mind, and soul. A car, gasoline, and the key. If you don't know how to put it together, you will never able to drive. So here you need tremendous brain combined with the body to standing head to knee posture.
Shit.
Why people have so many emotional problems all over the world, especially in this country? I give you the best news you ever heard in your life. 100% people has emotional problem in this country. But to me, nobody has emotional problem. Why they are emotionally upset? Because everybody has bad spine, 100% people in this country. Spine is the roots of all energies in human life. You could be the most intelligent man in the world, but you're absolutely dumb or stupid if your nervous system is not working because of the bad spine. So you put the water in the bottom of the tree, not in the branch of the tree. So she's working in the bottom.
Separate leg?
Go ahead. Separate leg stretching. Here you stretch the completely spine, completely legs, sciatica nerves, internal tendon of the legs, everything stretching symmetrically, scientifically, mathematically at the same time, without warm-up. And if she warm up, what she can do, you won't believe it even. Juliet, sweetheart, can you try? The final one.
Oh.
The French, what do you guys used to call sometime? French guillotine chop. You know, French guillotine chop is to look like this way. Here you stretch your heart, your lungs, your everything at the same time.
Oh.
You all right?
This is after
you
back
have to
surgery.
really warm up to this posture. Don't try it.
Oh, my.
See what I mean? How old she said before?
Oh.
Okay.
And she's
Look at
50
the
years
side
old,
view.
ladies.
No way we can explain right now what's going inside the body. This is called exercise. Only running and fighting, those are not exercise. Hammering when the cold still. Keep the bubbling a little bit. This is the only exercise human being can dream or think. Like a dam, Hoover Dam, you supply the water from Haw to the Taw and Taw to the Haw. Haw means sun and Taw means moon. Sun to the moon and moon to the sun. There's nothing in the world human can think like this posture. Don't worry, I'll give balance you because you're not warm up, I know that. She can lock the both knee at the same time when she practices in the class. But I don't want her to try because she might pull something. Look at that. Can you believe it? That is called standing boggling posture. And come on.
Rajashri is going to join you.
What are you going to do?
I'll start with lotus posture.
Okay, do the lotus. You ask about the lotus, little ago. Juliet said we don't teach the lotus in the beginner's class or nose bleeding, headstand or shoulder stand. No, you don't have to do all this.
I thought lotus was the first thing you taught.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Here people think yoga means you only sit and do meditate and lotus position and have the health food. That's not at all. Yoga means we cure all the chronic diseases. Heart problem, back problem, emotional problem. This is called, oh my God, we started already? This is peacock posture with lotus. That's fine, let's go a little bit. With the fish posture. This is the only exercise in the warm-up you use 100% of your body. All the internal organs, important glands, nerves, veins, tissues, ligament, everything. This posture, only this one, is called fish posture. You 100% you are using at the same time. The one you saw Juliet did, those are not using 100%. Combination. This is only 100% this posture.
Good.
You have no idea how much room she has in the
I will
lungs.
never know. Bikram.
I will make you know.
No.
Don't worry about it. Okay. You want to do something?
Yes.
Do the tortoise series. This is, I am teaching here 15 years. None of my students can do this one. Which one are you talking? Oh, you are doing the...
I am doing the full
spinal posture, the back bending. This is a key of human life, back bending.
You should see that sideways.
Do that, turn around, do the sideways.
Okay.
Turn around.
The camera's shooting it sideways.
Yes, okay.
But so they can
Oh,
see
okay.
it properly.
Her spine is compressed at least 14 inches the normal length of the spine. This is the way you improve the flexibility of the spine. Compression, extension, compression.
That is amazing.
Do the other one, do the full bow. Look at this. This is called back bending. Arthritis, lumbago, sciatica, slip disc, gout, rheumatism, tendonitis, bursitis, spondylitis. I can name 20 more.
You get all those things
all
from
of
doing
them.
that?
20 years, never one.
I see. Pardon me, Bikram.
No, you have to start. Do the regular one. Do the regular Cobra posture. Beginner's class, you do this is the Cobra posture. No, just regular Cobra. Just beginner's Cobra. Just Cobra.
Okay.
Just do the Cobra. Do you think this is a difficult posture for you? You can do it, Nandy. You want to try? Just for a second?
I can do that.
Just go ahead, come on, try. Let's see how you feel. That's nothing. You know what the biggest problem in human life? People, we always underestimate ourselves because of lack of... That's all. That's nothing. That's it.
It's easy, Bikram.
What is? How do you feel here now?
I would do more, but I have holes in my underwear.
Well, don't worry about it.
Did I do it?
Of course,
Of course.
Perfect. What's wrong with that? What's wrong?
Did he talk through the whole honeymoon?
Because I have been asked the same question before also.
Well, a million thanks to Juliet Prowse, and thank you, Juliet, for bringing Bikram Chowdhury and his wife, Raja Shri. Raja Shri. Wow. Thank you, Raja Shri. Thank you, Bikram. That was terrific. Thank you so much. Thank you, Juliet.
Thanks for having us.
Happy holidays to all of you. Thank you. We'll come back after this message.